Hello and welcome to Oulton Park. This is Bike Social. I am Michael Mann, and with me today is two of the finest road-going sports bikes on the market. Today we've got the BMW S1000RR. This is the M Performance package. We've also got the Aprilia RSV4 1100 Factory. So the M Performance BMW comes in at £19,700 in standard form. Delivers about 204 horsepower at the rear wheel at 13,500 RPM and delivers around 113 Newton meters of torque at 10,500 RPM. The Aprilia, however, that's got a price tag of £21,500, makes a claimed 214, so 10 more than the BMW. That's at 13,200 RPM and then an enormous 122 Newton meters of torque at 11,000 RPM. This particular BMW has got a few additional extras on it, namely the black screen and alarm, and poignantly, the full Akrapovic system, which makes the bike's overall retail value £21,770, which is actually only about 270 quid more than the Aprilia. So they're pretty much like for like in terms of value. The full system also gives the BMW an extra 9.5 Newton meters and 11 brake horsepower in the mid-range. We've checked that on the dyno and you can see it on a previous video, also on this Bennetts channel. But it also brings the weight down to 188 kilos versus the RSV4's 199. So with 420 odd brake horsepower available between the two of them, there's enough to scramble anyone's brain. Thankfully we've got a circuit, and thankfully I've got a special guest right here who's used to kind of warp speeds. John McGuinness.
How you doing, Michael?
Welcome, welcome. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for joining me. Look, yeah, you're used to massive power, massive speeds, and on a big old circuit like course, should I say, like the TT Mountain course.
Yeah, we've ridden all sorts of bikes, V4s, V-twins, Ducatis, Yamahas, Hondas, so yeah, but super excited. We're on one of the best tracks in the country, Oulton Park, you know, can stretch the legs a little bit. We've got some blind crests, some uphill bits, some fast bits, so a little bit like a TT track, but yeah, we've got the Aprilia V4 and the BMW inline 4, so excited.
Two different variations of the engine. What are you expecting? You've not ridden either of these two road bikes before.
Do you know what? I don't know what to expect really. I'm a little bit, I'm really excited because, like I say, I've been a long time in other manufacturers, but I want to know what all the fuss is about the BMW because I've looked at the seat card of one of them bikes for a while, for the last couple of years. So, and the Aprilia, yeah, V4, probably aggressive, quite nimble, looks really small, a bit like a little 250. So yeah, I'm just excited to get out on track and give them a spin.
Well, we've got nothing to lose. While we're waiting, there's a track there. Let's get our helmets. Well, what a day we've had. We got away with it weather-wise. We had plenty of time on track, which is even better. And with these two super weapons.
Yeah, just like you said there, you know, I'm grateful to be here and riding round. You know, it's been a long time since I've done as many laps as this around a short circuit. You know, so I've been in and out in all the sessions, fast group, slow group. I've been just getting the laps in, but two fantastic bikes, two very different bikes. It's new generation for me. I've sort of grown up on sort of throttle cables and blipping things myself, and you know, it's only recently, over the last year or so, where I've used that new technology and I'm getting to like it more and more and more. And picking a winner is very difficult. I don't really know.
I think it's part of the reason why we wanted to get you involved is to because we've got these two brand new bikes that are in dealerships in 2019, and it's almost like splitting hairs, even though you've got such a significant difference with the engine layout and even the electronics. The BMW, I'm sure you'll agree, it's 21st century stuff. It really is new age, and it probably makes the overall decision based on the electronics. The BMW for me,
Yeah.
but in terms of the V4, the Aprilia, it's gruntiness.
I'm being biased towards racing all the time, so I'm thinking to myself, if I was going down Braille now, 185 mile an hour, what motorbike would I be on? And I'm steering towards the BMW all day. But I say one's a V4, one's really aggressive, one's really short, one steers maybe a little bit better. Like the Aprilia, it's grunty, it sounds awesome, it's throaty. I think on the downshifts on the auto blipper sounds a bit more racy, if you like, but the BMW is very neutral. Seating position for me on the BM, again, going back to what I'm thinking, what sort of my job if I was racing it now, if I was on the bike for an hour and 45 minutes, I'd want to be on the BMW. Yeah. But if I want my skirt blowing up for 15 minutes, I think I'd be on the Aprilia, I'd love everybody to have a go on it, just to see how powerful it really is. Over the last few years, I've been with Honda for a long time now, in Oulton, so I've not really ridden these bikes, so it's ticked a lot of boxes for me today, and I've learned a lot as well.
So what are your highlights with the Aprilia specifically?
I would say power. It just feels like it's got a lot of power. It seems to have some sort of nerve centre in it, like it's alive somehow, it's got like an animal really. It does react to the changes as well, like anti-wheelie traction control, and it did react to the changes and really tamed it down, which is what you want. If you run it off, it wheelies, it's on the back wheel, it's a bit flighty, it's a bit nervous. You get on the brakes, it dives forward, it turns in probably a little bit, turns in initially a little bit better than the BMW, but the BM feels a bit safe. It feels a bit, like you're not going that fast, but if you had a stopwatch on, the lap times would definitely be there against the Aprilia, probably doing it maybe a little bit easier, but both incredible bikes. I wouldn't want to slag one of them off, because they're both fantastic. And if you had your X amount of money in your pocket and you'd go, well, I want that because I want that, and I want the BMW because I want that, they're not. It's a personal preference, I think.
We could easily stand here and justify one over the other easily, either way.
Yeah.
But if you did have 21 and a bit thousand pounds to spend on one, and you had to take one of them home, and I'm talking about road riding as well as track riding, something that you can, because that's what they're designed for. They're designed for riding around on the road and coming to a track.
I wish I had all the money. So I'd have all of them. I would buy every single motorbike. I'm a motorbike fan. I've got 53 motorbikes in my bike collection, from all sorts of things, two strokes to everything. So, if I had enough dosh, I'd be in both shops wheeling both of them out. But if I only had one to choose, probably the BMW. Been a bit of a thorn in my side, really. Last few years as well.
You've been chasing a few.
Yeah, I've been looking at the bloody seat pod of them long enough. So it's been frustrating over the years. So it's the first time I've ridden one, and I can sort of see what a lot of the fuss is about. You could go down the motorway on that BM. It's quite comfortable. It's put a bit of a higher screen on it, more of a racy screen. Everything that you ride nowadays that's racy has a tiny little screen, which you can never really understand. You always feel like you're getting your head blown off your shoulders and stuff. So, but it's comfy. It's where I would put my handlebars. If I was going to race a bike or put my handlebars, I would put them there. No, the Aprilia is quite, the distance from the seat to the handlebars is quite narrow. It feels like a 250, quite short, or a 600. It's really high. Can hardly touch the floor, but.
Yeah, seat height's high, isn't it? And the pegs are high too, and it does feel a little bit more.
It feels
cramped.
Feels pretty cramped, but feels like a 600. Feels nimble. Everything that they do say on the box, they do. And it's amazing. And all the years I've ridden and raced and done track days, today you couldn't keep me off the bikes. I was chomping at the bit all the time. I'll have a go on that. I'll have another do on that. Let's change this. Let's change the anti-wheelie. Let's change this. Yeah. Every change reacted to the bike. The tyres that are on them nowadays, these road tyres that come on them, were super sticky. And I was having a bit of a go today. I was like,
it's good. At one point you came in and you said, why don't you try adding some anti-wheelie, as in trying to reduce that excitement coming out of a corner. It just really wants to go, and you're fighting with it, and you can't really get that power down because it just get a bit loose.
Yeah, it was a bit windy today, and whether them wings maybe not helping it in the wind, but there was some cross winds today, and it got quite interesting at times. When there was none of that anti-wheelie on, it was just straight on the back wheel. and first initial touch of the throttle felt a lot more aggressive than like the BM when it's on the side of the tyre. It seems to have it's got a gyro or something in it where it brings the power in a little bit more progressively as it lifts up onto the fatter part of the tyre before you drive. It feels a little bit more controlled on full lean, where the Aprilia is again aggressive. I say aggressive. It's just the first little touch of the throttle. It seems to just go out of your hands a little bit, But it didn't when I changed the anti-wheelie, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So you can make it an animal.
Oh, but that's half the point, isn't it? Because you can change so much on either of those motorbikes.
ABS works good. Lap after lap on them, putting them through the paces, braking really, really hard. And I mean, they were still there for us though. That engine braking system works really, really well. They don't back in. They're both very, very stable on the brakes. I thought the Aprilia might have been a little bit more unstable on the brakes, backing in a little bit, but it's just really, really stable. Maybe that's the two cylinders that are behind. The centre of gravity is slightly different to the BM, but overall very different bikes, but end products very, very similar. One just feels comfortabler for me than the other one. I could probably match the lap times on both bikes, I would imagine.
I would imagine so.
I think if I was on an endurance race, if I was doing an 8-hour endurance race, maybe on the BM. You've got forks, a frame, a swing arm and a subframe, but not in a tank position. Not a lot's changed, is it? They just give them a heap of power and a load of electronics.
And a computer to handle it all.
Yeah, to handle it all. So the bike's way better than probably any of us lot, really. Interesting day for me. Ticked a few boxes and I really enjoyed it, and I'll go away with my thinking cap on. Might do some more homework like you guys and actually look at the spec and see what they actually do. But from a rider's point of view, you couldn't get me off it all day. So, definitely getting me mojo back for a few things.
Good stuff. John, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate
Cheers.
it. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.